Hello, this is Jane Miller and welcome. I'm so glad you're tuning in. I've been thinking about this topic for a long time and created a special workbook for you that you can follow along here on this webinar. If you need the answer key, just send me a text or an email and I'll get that to you. And as we follow along here, we'll be filling in all the blanks. Again, I've been thinking about this topic for a while and how to really give you some valuable information. And this workbook has a lot of different tips and snips and action items, but more so, I want to get to a lot of the root cause of this whole help wanted, hype that's going on and, why people are leaving and why it's so tough to hire people. And some of this may be shocking. Much of it will not be news to you, but what I really want to do is within Jane Miller and Associates, give you some guidance on how we can work together to make things right. So let's get started. I want to start about talking why people are leaving. Why do people leave jobs? Well, people are leaving bosses and managers who stink. People are leaving dysfunctional cultures that are not good. People are leaving lifestyles and work situations that just aren't fitting. They're looking for, companies that are awesome. People are looking for companies that have noble missions. They're looking for companies who have meaningful solutions for the world. People, they want to be proud of where they're working. They want to be a proud champion for you, the company. And, they want leaders that know how to lead. They want leaders who care about them and have that emotional intelligence. They want cultures where people are appreciated and valued, and they want a workplace that invests in them. Companies that do well expect high performance where everyone contributes. These high performers are looking for opportunities to be their best. They want to do work that they're proud of. They want the chance to be a star and an artist, creative at work. They want to express their full talents. And these folks want to have their work fit around their lifestyle, not the other way around. They want flexibility. They want to be trusted. They don't want to be micromanaged. And they certainly don't want to be evaluated based on politics. They want to be evaluated based on results. And if you're thinking, well, crap, how do we do all this? Well, if your organization, your leaders, or your culture, your work environment, or your work terms stink, we're in trouble, right? But if your organization can be high performing, have high impact, a lot of growth, a grand mission, good leadership, a proper culture, a good work environment. They say the gold rush is on. People are going to leave the organizations that are stinky, but they will come to those who are awesome. And really, when we think about all those help wanted signs out there, perhaps you have one in front of your company. You might think that just every company is looking, but guess what? Good talent is looking for you, awesome company. So grab it, right? Give these folks a better life or an opportunity for a better life, a better future, a better life so that they can realize their full potential. How can we be champions? How do we create champions within our companies? Yeah, we want to be a white knight, don't we? We want to be a champion. We want to create that place where people want to come to work. They want to succeed. And how are we going to infuse this? The good culture and top performance and execute it all the leadership skills and repeat daily? Well, the news is that, and we'll get into the workbook now, for horrible companies, this is horrible news, everything I've mentioned. But for awesome companies, it's really awesome news. So let's get into this, some of the details a little more. All right, so why do people leave? Why are they leaving your company? What the heck is going on, right? So we found that people leave for mostly 6 reasons. You're overworking them. You don't respect their time out of the office. You are micromanaging them. They've no opportunity for growth. You're tolerating poor performance from others, which drags the top performers down. And it's said that the #1 reason people leave is that you don't appreciate them, or you don't show them that you value them. So how do we engage? How do we keep the ones that we want to keep? Well, first, give them instructions, give them a guide, and time to reach their personal goals while working on your company goals. Help them get what they want, and they'll naturally engage with you. Put the right people in the right positions and in the right culture. Finally, liberate losers back to the marketplace. A little bit more on that later. And you've probably heard Zig Ziglar's famous quote, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough people get what they want." And it's so true, whether we're a company or a salesperson, a teacher, in a family. As we help others get what they want, we'll get what we want. So that was just a little snip on why people are leaving. And we started down the path of figuring out what to do to keep the ones we want to stay, right? So we can get more out of people than we know. So it's not about like doing more with less. Employees really love that. Like, oh, we're going to pile on all these new projects, but there's no more people and etc. But there's a way to do it. So Jim Rohn, a mentor of mine, always said that each team member only gives you 25% of their capacity. And then it's up to the leader to get the other 75%. And often the employee or team member, it's not that they're maybe holding back, but sometimes they don't know how to give you more. Well, here's a couple tips. Don't let them spend the whole day chasing mice, right? Help them to prioritize exactly what are the most important tasks. And I found that when you focus on the most important, those other little things just get done along the way. This one is so important, and we work with our clients. We work with individuals and companies, teams, and employees on this in a deep way. So help them to do what they already know how to do. And maybe you caught my masterclass on why we don't do what we know how to do, right? And it's really about creating new paradigms, new habits, so that they can do what they already know how to do. You've given them the skills training, right? Why don't they do it? It's often rooted in really deeply held paradigms. All right. So what else can we do? Systemize the routines. I have a routine in the morning. I do A, B, C, the top things. And again, the little things get done. So systemize those things so they're not running in many, many directions. Now, know what makes each person successful. Is it helping them with a calendar? Is it allowing them to do things a little differently? Is it some other form of appreciation or competition? What makes each person successful? So once you identify that, that's called their vital success actions. Then you help them with actions that will make them successful. And I really, really love the next step. And when we talked about putting people in the proper positions, the right people in the right positions, we might have to like toss things up a little bit. So let them do more of what they love, less of what they tolerate, and none of what they hate. There'll be an improvement right there. And if you're shorthanded, you're down a couple people, you got limited capacity. So use that capacity and grow it only on the right opportunities. And that kind of goes back to your mission, vision, right, for the company. But more on that later. Let's talk about what I mentioned about creating new paradigms. So first, we all might have to learn about paradigms, what they are, how they're formed, and more importantly, how to go about creating new paradigms. This often starts by helping folks know what they want. What do they really want? What do they really want? And again, if we can help them get it as leaders, they'll help us with our goals as well. So know their wants, help them understand what they really want, help them to establish goals, and then create the habits to move them there. And then we repeat this with your company goals. What do you want? What do you really want? What are the goals around that? What are the habits we have to create to move us toward them? So when we work with companies and their individuals, we work on individual wants and goals and the company's wants and goals. And we teach folks to keep their thoughts on the goal as if it has already been here, as if it's already here. So that way, instead of working from our current results, we can really focus in on working towards where we want to be. We help folks use affirmations. And we persist one day at a time. It's really hard to bull your way into a habit. So we just help people figure out, again, what they want, get the goals wrapped around it, figure out the habits, and just do them one day at a time. Don't worry, oh my gosh, I have to do this for a whole month. One day at a time will move us closer through repetition. And something that's very appreciated by your team is helping to work on their self-image and their beliefs. So we replace the non-productive self-image and the non-productive habits with those habits and affirmations that move us into the right direction. And we have to help each other and help our folks not to criticize themselves as they're working on this. It takes time, but they'll get there if we can help them do it. Now, a couple more practical tips. Say you have what might consider some kind of mundane things we have to do. put the pizza boxes together, run the line, watch the line going through, counting inventory. So how do we motivate that mundane? Well, we make a game out of it. We define the goal first. What does it take to win? Maybe it's something such as count 25% of the inventory by Friday. And then we figure out what's the objective. How are we going to achieve it? What's the progress? It might be 10 rows a day. We track it on a simple poster on the wall or a spreadsheet that folks have on the shared drive. Have a reward. Have a reward. Lunch for everyone on Friday. Half the last couple hours of the day off for individuals, one at a time. And then have a consequence. Now, I will say, if the reward is really, really juicy, like dinner out for the team and their spouses or friends, sometimes if they don't meet it, not meeting the goal and not getting the reward is consequence enough. Our competition is something to think about. Engage competition, because we all have an inherent drive to win. And make it friendly competition. And remember, in Corinthians, it was said that we should run in such a way to get the prize. Isn't that fun? All right. So we talked a little bit about why folks are leaving companies, how to have talented pools of people running your way. We talked about how to motivate and engage the folks we already have. What about if you need to liberate? What if we need to lose somebody? Because remember, 90% of business problems are usually recruiting problems. So are you having tough conversations, first of all? So we know that almost 67% of managers are uncomfortable talking with the people they lead. They admit it. They just avoid having those difficult conversations. But you know this, don't you? When you don't have the tough conversations and you let people on staff that aren't helping, you're hurting your team. You're hurting your clients. You're hurting the offender themselves, and you're hurting yourself. So here's a quick sample conversation to have as we're going along here. And if you notice something's just not right and you really need to get this person on the right path. So you start something like this. So Joe, our shared purpose is whatever it is. We both want that, right? But we need to talk about some behavior that I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is kind of a negative attitude when you're talking to our customers. And the impact is the behavior that I'm seeing, it's affecting the customer satisfaction, our team members, and it just seems to put you in a bad way as well. Tell me, is there something up? Do you see it differently? So what is it that we need to do next? What do you think is the next move? So That's just a quick little skill set, and I'll definitely work with you on conversations that you're wanting to have and can't kind of find the words. You never know. Person could do you a favor and either shape up or the alternate. Now let's talk more about hiring great team members, because your company consists really of one thing, right? People. Even if you have, let's say you have a hotel, the hotel without people in it is just that. It's a building. What makes it a company and what makes it that hotel, for example, are the people. You know that. So if you get the people right, those right people will take care of the rest. And if we're doing the culture right, if we're doing the engagement right, you'll attract the right people. Remember, we talked about what people are looking for and what a company can do. We can, have a culture that invites people in to be their best. We have a noble mission. We have a meaningful place in the world. We have a solution that solves problems, and so on. Know that one great team member that you bring in can 2 to 3 times the output of everybody else. And that goes for leadership as well. So when you're looking for team members, check what you're looking at. Are you looking at the skill or the will? Certainly, team members need to come in with a skill level, especially if you, have some specific tasks that you need done. But gosh, check their will, attitude, their character, their heart, their personal attributes. And are they the right position or right person? Are they the right fit for the position? That may be more skill, but are they the right fit for your culture, for your mission? Are they the right fit for the rest of the team? Are they the right fit for you? I add a nice cheat sheet here, which talks about the different levels of team members. And you can read through them at your leisure, but we have the contributor who is the individual contributor who implements things, right? Has that expertise and specialized skill set. But even these folks, we want to have skill and will, right? Then we have our managers who kind of coordinates everything else, right? And leads the employees. They lead contractors that you may have on. They set rules in place, set goals, etc. And then finally, you, the leader, you're the strategist, right? You're working on the business on behalf of everyone else and your customers instead of in the business. You're being proactive, getting the strategy together, providing the vision that you're all going for. So again, as we're working through this whole debacle, right? Of hiring, firing, and looking for good people and continuing on, we have to ask ourselves, are we seeing this as the help wanted hype? Or is this an opportunity for us to grow our businesses by putting some great team members in place and with the folks on our team that are already there. Do we have the culture right? Do we have the work and lifestyle right for them to grow and have opportunity? So if you want to work on this more, and I hope that you will, give us a call here at Jane Miller Associates. You can text me or go onto the website and use our Calendly link to schedule some time. Makes it real efficient. Because I'd love to talk to you about how we can help your people to be the engaged employees that you need so that your company can grow if that's what you're looking for. So your company can thrive. So thanks for listening in to my rants today. And I hope you found at least one or two tidbits that you can start to implement right away. And we so look forward to helping you sleep at night by hiring and keeping great employees. This is Jane Miller. Thanks so much.